This video I want to talk about Waller and morning routines that you can use to increase your day or change the trajectory of your life by starting your morning out the correct way. Because I myself have done different morning routines over the years, and I've found one that seems to be working best for me. I still do make slight and minor adjustments as the time goes on, but I wanted to use an example from my adventures with Superman because there are at least Waller starts her morning out in ways that I myself have considered doing. I don't do it personally right now. There has been some times where I kind of do it and I kind of don't. And if you win the morning, you win the day, as Benjamin Franklin says. So if you can start early, and also it's like one of those things where earlier to rise, he who is early to rise becomes healthy, wealthy, and wise. Also another Benjamin Franklin quote. Highly recommend checking him out if you haven't already. But I wanted to start out with this scene right here in the morning where Waller, let's just watch this really quick.
You are the master of your destiny. You control the outcome of this day. The universe gives what you bring to it. Today, you bring fire, Amanda.
So she does all of that before even starting or turning off the alarm. She says this affirmation first thing in the morning. And when we think about it, this is something that I've had to realize, and maybe you realize it as well too. And the best example that I've been able to hear or come to this realization is we are conditioned to believe certain things are true when in actuality they may or may not be true. So when you repeat things over and over and over again, you start to believe that to be your reality. So like with the affirmation that Waller says first thing in the morning, like this is what makes her be able to be the menacing character, villain, aspect, person that she is, and helps her maintain and regard those controls in her own life, because the things that she says, she truly does believe. I found out that I can say certain things that maybe I don't believe and they don't end up working, whereas when I say certain affirmations or phrases or whatever it is that I truly do believe, it's a completely different story and it reacts in different ways. Whereas if you're just repeating things that I tell you to say or that somebody else online tells you to say, you're not going to have the same outcome as, say, somebody else does who truly believes the thing that they're saying. So Waller starting this out and then just going right to her morning after turning off the alarm is the best way for her to start her day. I do want to leave you with one thing before we get even deeper into this video. So I don't know how many of you make coffee, but so she's making a Keurig pour over coffee, which hands down best type of coffee that you can make. And it's fantastic. I love it. The problem that I have the issue with is if you know anything about Keurig coffees, you don't, you pour it over, you do your pour over, which is fantastic. You get the nice smells, aromas, you taste your coffee way better than anybody else. But then the funny part is they end up using this shot to show her pouring the coffee into the mugs, which that's not how this works. She would have needed to, and the animators, they did a great job. Don't get me wrong. But it's water, and it's why would you put the coffee back in this thing? You would just pour the coffee out of this into your mugs. But I mean, that's just to each their own. Something that I've found out, and I've never seen somebody that puts their coffee back into the thermos thing. But then again, I get it. Most people wouldn't understand. And then all they really had to do was change this color of this animation of the water into the coffee, because if you look at it, it's basically the exact same animation as it was on the water one. But anyways, that was just a little side note that I picked up on that I didn't realize, and I figured you guys might find that kind of interesting and fascinating to see. Back to morning routines. So she starts her morning off with the affirmation, and it works out for her. I start my mornings off I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I put my contacts in, because if I don't put my contacts in, I'm blind as a bat. I'm basically like Clark with Superman glasses. I just can't see until I put my contacts in. Once I do that, then I meditate, I write about my dreams, and I start my morning off that way. Some mornings I'll get coffee. I've been doing more coffee. I like coffee in the morning. Some people say don't drink coffee, don't do this, don't do that. But at the end of the day, dude, it's your idea and it's your life, and you get to decide how you start your mornings off. I'm just saying that this is the thing that has helped me have a successful morning and helped me have a successful day. Same thing with Waller in my adventures as Superman. She was able to have a successful morning and able to take over the world and create the Suicide Squad and Task Force X and change all these people's lives. And probably not the best, but in the way that she's finds worthy, as I've talked about in other videos around Superman and Lex Luthor, and how you find these different concepts and ideas that you have to inherently believe to be true, and you're helping in the ways that Superman, what he believes is good is the way that is good, whereas Lex and Waller, the way that they're doing and the things that they're helping, they also believe that they're doing the right thing, and which is good. Everybody has their own definition of what good and evil are. It's good to have a baseline to it, but that's a different conversation for a different day. basically my morning routines consist of waking up whenever I feel like it. If you need an alarm, have an alarm. Say thank you in some way, shape, or form. Learn that from The Secret, I believe is what it was. There used to be mornings where I used to wake up and I would just say these like negative things about myself, and like these thoughts would pop in my head. I'm like, where's this coming from? Like, let me figure this out. So I stopped doing that. And then I wake up, do my meditation, journal about like my dreams last night or whatever it may be, maybe do some morning pages if I feel like it as well. Get up, walk outside for a little bit, go grab a cup of coffee, come back, maybe meditate first thing. Like I do meditate first thing in the morning, obviously. So if we look at it this way, so it's like we do 6 a.m. ish or so is up to rise. And then from there, kind of like how Waller, she also woke up at 6. From there, it's journal about the dreams or in morning page, and then walk to get coffee, and then meditate. Meditate can be kind of in here as well too. Like meditation kind of goes like either in between, right after I wake up, and between the dreaming and the waking, or meditation goes in like after I do my journaling and writing, just depending on the dream, and if I need to remember to recall it a little bit faster. Then I walk, grab some coffee, do a little bit of work first thing in the morning, so like write, create some content, maybe make some calls, which is what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days, making some calls to get some clients. As I was talking about in the income video that I did a couple days ago, it's really easy to make money. It's just a matter of maintaining that money, which is the hard part. I understand where like just go check out that video if you haven't already. Highly recommend it if you're looking for ways to create your income or increase your income and your livelihood. So after I do my morning stuff, then I come back, maybe do some like, basically then I get to work. Like I just jump in, I start making content for the day. Maybe I might watch a video or something like that. It kind of depends on the day. I most likely like getting most of my stuff, like getting started by at least 7-ish or so, and then working till about like 10 or 11-ish. And then like maybe I'll take a walk in between, like a short one. At least that's what I did this morning. Other days, like I'll work until maybe I won't get it started until like 8 or 9 or something like that. Then I'll work until 1. At least doing like work on myself, like my work in some way, shape, or form. So like sometimes I do have like a 2 hours in the morning before I actually get started. It really depends. And then after 1, like what I do, like 1:30, I'll have lunch. And then I like to go on a bike ride or a walk in some way, shape, or form. And I enjoy those, maybe a run as well too. And then go to the gym, work out, come back, watch a TV show like Rick and Morty, My Adventures of Superman, or something along those lines, so that then I can create content around this to hopefully inspire you to go change your morning routine and change your daily life and your habits. And it's just a good way to start your day because, as I was saying at the beginning, if you start early to rise becomes healthy, wealthy, and wise. But then you also need to understand, like, are you a morning person? So like sun, that's the sun. Or are you a night person? This is a moon. This is a moon. That's a very, very poor moon. But like, are you a morning person or a night person? Because if you're a night owl, you can get all of your work done later in the day. Like I know people that they stay up until like 2 a.m. and they love working that way. Whereas I'm like, I need to be in bed by like 9:30 or 10 most nights. And that's what I find more enjoyable, so that then I'm back up at 6. And I just like that that mentality more. Like I can't even really sleep in past 6 most of the times. Like maybe 6:30 is the latest I can sleep in, regardless of how late I'm awake. Even though like I get out of bed some mornings and then come back to the couch and fall back asleep and then get back up and like start again. Because sometimes in the morning when I do meditate, like I'm still tired, so like I fall back asleep. But it's also like I just have to get off the couch and go outside, and why moving the body and smelling like fresh air first thing in the morning has helped me out a lot and be able to have a much more like productive day as I have today. Obviously, not every day is like this, but like there are some nights where like you may have a dream, and I believe this to be true. Like dreams are just like they're talking to us in some way, shape, or form. So you might as well listen to your dream in the best way that you can, so that you can have like the life or the outcome that you want, and you can win. Like I was talking about in the Jimmy video around how it's easier to win. Like I said, go check that video out. And it's just, I've found out that like creating my life and dictating it in the ways that works best for me is fantastic. But I was only able to find this out through experimentation. So like some mornings, like I would go to the gym beforehand at like 4:30 or so, and it was fun. But like then in the evenings, like the evenings would come around, and since I am a single male living by myself, I'd be like, well, I just want to watch TV now, and this is what I did beforehand. which I didn't want to do that. So instead, like, I'd come home and I'd read, and I'd be like, well, now I'm just bored from, like, because I'd get off at work at like 4 or so, and then I'd have 4 to like 9:30ish or so, because then I'd have to be back up at 4 a.m. when I was working out with this one dude back in college. And I was like, what am I supposed to do for what, 5.5 hours ish or so? I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, so I'd read, maybe I'd go on a walk. I didn't actually go on that many walks back then. But like, I'd read, basically, maybe I'd try to study, or I'd listen to like podcasts like Tim Ferriss, like TED Talks and things like that. Art of Charm. Like, I'd listen to these different concepts, Gary Vee, and I'd take notes, and I'd try experimenting with like different ideas or perspectives when I was working out at 4:30 in the morning. But I didn't like the energy. I liked going to the gym right after work, because then I gotta like get out all. So I'd go at PM instead of AM, because then I was able to like get out all of my frustration that I had from the day of like the work, and I'd also be able to like talk with other people and network and make friends, because the gym's a great place to network if you haven't networked, or if you don't network right now. Highly recommend doing that at the gym. And I found out it's better to do it in the evening than in the morning, because most people in the morning, like, they want to be in it within 60 to 75 minutes or so, where like people in the afternoon, like, they'll go for like 2 to 4 hours sometimes. Like, it just really depends, because like they don't have anything else to do. They don't want to just sit at home, where most people live alone and are lonely. There's like 6 billion people in this world, and everybody's lonely. I did a video on that as well a couple days ago. I don't remember what it was called exactly. You can let me know down in the comments if you do remember that video, or if you did watch it. But yeah, it's just, I found out starting the morning in the right way is the best way to start your day. And the more you start your morning in the correct way, the better you're going to have at succeeding in the ways that you want to, and listening to the dreams that you have the night beforehand, which is why having like a dream journal or a dream like aspect in some way, shape, or form is one of the best things. Like, I'll just show you a little snippet. So like, this is mine. Like, I've been doing dreams for a while now. As you can see, like, I have 75 pages, dude, of this stuff. Like, dream back in like 315 back in March. A lot of things happening, as well as inspiring myself and others to make videos and a couple of other things. I found a house along with a driveway and a dog. The house had an overview of the lake. I was the guy, how the dog stayed. Like, my grammar isn't even like 100%, but it's nice to get these ideas out of my mind and like onto paper. So I like doing these things first thing in the morning. I found this to be incredibly helpful and inspirational to me, and it just kind of helps me write and get these words out, because a lot of the times, like, and I was talking with the dude on a podcast the other day, where he was like, it was nice chatting with you live. It helped me kind of like clear up some thoughts and some ideas, and it just kind of helped me get out these different thoughts. That's why I make these videos. That's why I'm hoping to inspire you to make these videos. Like, the wording doesn't even have to be great. Like, I've typed these with my eyes shut just to kind of get them like out onto the piece of paper, which is great. It's just a matter of like doing the work and just trying your best first thing in the morning, because if you start your morning out right, give yourself 30 to 45 minutes, I'd say. If you can't do 30 to 45 minutes, then at least give yourself like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, just grab a piece of paper. Like, it doesn't have to be on the computer. I have a journal as well too, where I write stuff down, because typically on the keyboard you can write a lot faster. But like, this is how I've like started my morning out for, as you can see, the past like several months at this point in time. So I've been doing this for quite some time, and it seems to be working out very well for me. And if this is something that you find interesting, or if you want to try, like, don't censor yourself. Don't question like what you're writing first thing in the morning. Just like write down your dream, or write down like what you're feeling first thing in the morning. Like, questions. It's like, what do I want to do today? Who do I want to be? What can I do today that will move me one step closer to monetization, like on YouTube? Like, writing down these goals first thing in the morning. It's an important part to do, because then it helps you formulate your ideas. It helps you communicate better. It helps you have more confidence. It helps you express yourself in ways that maybe you weren't expressing yourself from like beforehand. So it's just a matter of like finding these like small little hidden gems that you can do first thing in the morning. And like I said, this doesn't take me very long. It didn't take Waller more than a minute to say her affirmation first thing in the morning. And that's what she loves doing. And that's how she's been able to find the happiness and growth and success that she has in her life and in her show and like everything else that she has going on. So it's just like, you find what works for you. Once you do that, like, you'll be able to create a life that you want to have. Like, this is from months, dude, and I have 35,000 words. Like, it doesn't just happen overnight. Like, you have to put in the work to be able to make it happen. I don't know where that other drawing went. But you have to be willing to put in the work to be able to make it happen. As you do more and more of that, you'll be able to find like a lot more happiness and success than maybe you have right now. At least I've been able to. And if it's worked for me, I know it'll work for you. And you guys got to let me know. Like, let me know if you agree with this or if you don't agree with this down in the comments. And if you do agree with it, I mean, you can just click that subscribe button because it's completely free, doesn't take anything away from you. And this will help you increase your morning. It'll help you become more confident. It'll help you have a better career, better life, better overall perspective and worldview because you have decided to write and take control of your life instead of being controlled by others. Wonderful. I will leave you guys with that. And if you have any other questions, concerns, comments, issues, ideas, whatever it may be, just let me know down in the comments down below, and happy to do live chats with you as well moving forward. Otherwise, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. I was going to say otherwise just sub to the channel. I already said that though. And we'll just kind of chat from here. And if you have other ideas or questions or shows that you'd like for me to also review, just let me know. And I'm happy to make those small little micro changes and adjustments. Because I have a wealth of knowledge. I have stories. I have perspectives that maybe you don't get to hear from other everyday people. And I just want to keep inspiring you to keep moving forward and hopefully change your life, because I know this is things that have helped me increase my confidence, my competence, my persuasion, my negotiation, my overall willingness to like either be alone or work and find like joy and fulfillment in like the life that I have right now. And I know that if it works for me, it'll work for you, as I said. And yeah, we'll just leave it right there. So appreciate you tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Chat soon.